Yeah, so anyway, let's just buy a bomber, keep trying to bomb. Buy 9 infantry. Do I still... I kind of still want to keep it. I should probably buy another bomber. I don't know. I had some tough choices this turn. I think what I'm going to do here is... Let's use our artillery. Let's try to take out Burma. I want to take Kazakh out. And one of the reasons for that is... I want to be able to land units in Persia and attack him. I also would like to take Southern Europe if possible. I was thinking, should I stack Karelia? But then, the more I thought about it, the more I realized that's probably not a super fantastic idea. I want to put enough here to where he has to dedicate some resources to taking it, but not so much that he gets a super good trade. So it's a little bit of a tough trade-off to do. I calculated it out, and there's really no way I can stack Karelia. So I'm going to try to plop maybe 4 or 5 units here, see how it goes. Not going to do a bombing raid this turn because I do need pretty much all of my units to attack something worthwhile. I was thinking about whether I should land in Baltic to try to divide his attention, but when I looked at the board, I'm actually kind of getting thin on the France defense here. He's got a lot of guys here since he moved the Baltic states down into Berlin, and he actually has really good odds on France. So I think I'm going to have to spend this turn moving most of my units back into France and fortifying. Alright, is this enough units hitting here? I hope it is. I'm gonna add another guy there. Certainly don't want him getting 2 hits on me. I'm like, I should do bombing raids. I really shouldn't. I really shouldn't be doing bombing raids here when I need them for land attacks. Bombing raids are kind of like, seriously? A thing you do when you have nothing left to do. What is with these planes? Well, at least he missed. Wow, I'm like, that'll surely one round him, and then I get 2 hits through 2 rounds, and isn't that the way of Axis and Allies? Alright, just precision attacking there. Honestly, I thought I lost last game with all those failed Russian strafes. It's kind of wild to me that I'm even in this game. Don't hit. Yes! Get Southern Europe another turn. Excellent. Man, I keep thinking surely this will one round them, right? Very glad I didn't go for bombing. It turns out I got good results at the end of the day, but you know, that's mostly from him not hitting rather than me doing well. He got poor. I did poor and he did more poor. Alright, so let's take these. Whoa. Handsome. What the? Well, the game certainly didn't like that. I don't know what I did, but the game didn't like it. Okay, I'm gonna even move move 1 infantry down there. I think I will leave this bomber here. This little swell guy is going to have to retreat. Guess I can move him there. Let's move infantry forward on Italy. No real reason to defend here if I don't plan to unload any troops there. Do I have to move more than 3? No, I think 4 units is kind of the perfect amount. It kind of forces him to send at least 3 units if he wants to hit it. He could do 2, but it'll be risky. I really would like to stack that, though. If he moves this out back to Caucasus, I'm totally going to move forward with everything I got. Well, I didn't buy a fighter, so maybe I should have bought a fighter to help reinforce Moscow. I'm not entirely sure what the right answer is in this situation. I've been thinking I've been lost this game for a while now, but somehow I keep hanging on. How many units can he hit India with? 6 infantry, 2 artillery, 4 fighters, a bomber, a battleship, and I'm gonna have basically 13 infantry, a bomber, fighter, 2 bombers. Okay, he has no odds. That's good. Do I want to add even more units to Persia is the question. I think I do. I definitely want to trade with Japan as much as I can to buy in Moscow all the time that's possible. I wonder how many infantry can I get down to before the odds start looking shaky. It looks like 11 infantry is about the most I can get before things get too shaky looking. Alright. Guess there's not a real reason to leave these here. In case for some reason I want to move everything into C-Zone 5 and for heaven knows what reason. Alright, I think that's as good as it gets. I'm going to put the artillery in India to help trade Burma a little bit more effectively. Very interesting game. I have a pretty good income lead. Let's see, he's getting 83 a turn, and I'm getting 90... close 99 a turn, so I do for the moment have the income lead, but again it's deceptive because once Moscow falls, that's gonna go up in smoke real fast. So we'll keep chipping away at Terrance. Who knows, we might get lucky and a miracle could occur, but until then, yeah, we'll just keep on hoping. Catch you guys next time for USA 11. Welcome back, it's USA 11. Let's take a look what Terrance has done. So, he bought 3 tanks, 3 fighters. Interesting. And for combat, he had Caucasus, Archangel. Killed 6 units, lost 3, so nothing too spectacular there. So by doing this huge fighter buy, I see his big clump here. He's basically saying, yeah, I'm gonna hit Moscow next turn. What you gonna do about it? And to answer that question, I'm not going to do anything about it because I can't really stop him from taking out Moscow. So, guess the answer is nothing. So I'm just going to buy 7 infantry, 2 planes, and see if we can get really lucky. So let's first try to take out a little bit of Japan's foothold here. Originally I was going to send the bomber over here to attack, but it's kind of, how do I say, nearly futile trying to protect Russia at this point. Russia's going to fall. I can't really do anything about it. Might as well accept the fact and move on. I'm sure he has subset to submerge, but might as well go for it. Well, they've gotten good strategic bombing raids, that's for sure. That could have been better. Oh yeah, I forgot I even did that. Good talk there, Japanese sub. Well, yeah, it's just how it goes. So for this little puppy, I guess I can send it here. Send some units forward if Germany wants to send all their crap against it. So be it. Can't really stop them. Move these cute little transports back. I guess I can move this AA gun there. I don't think it matters too much. He's not thinking about doing anything to the US. Well, maybe he will after he takes Moscow, but we're on the death clock. Unfortunately, he's secured a much stronger position than us, but we'll see what we get done and if we can pull a miracle out of our arse. Don't have a good history with miracles, though. Yeah, I guess I'll just keep the guys there. No transports in range of the US. Good stuff. And we'll probably make our attempt in 2 turns. Guess I'll buy an AA gun because it kind of matches up with the spending. So we'll take the freebies. Wait, that's not a freebie. Maybe I shouldn't have sent it there. UK was gonna hit it anyway, but it probably doesn't really matter either way because there's just no way to hold Moscow. Next turn he's bringing in a lot of units. Not next turn, but the turn after next. Alright, that's it for now. Catch you guys next time for UK 12. Welcome back. It's UK 12. Let's take a look at what Terrance has done. So 5 infantry, 10 points of repair. Took Southern Europe, no losses. West Russia, 1 loss. Got the greedy Italy win. Hit with 1, got the capture. So that's a bit of extra income for him at 30. And it's going to be go time soon. We have... I guess I'd say 2 turns. Moscow's going to fall round 13. I ran the calculators, and basically he has a 99% chance to capture, regardless of what I do. I can maybe inch it up a smidgen, but the odds are abysmal, and there's no point in trying to hold Moscow. It's a pointless endeavor. So, I'm just going to keep chipping away with Germany and see if we can get an all-in time in the near future. So let's start here. I'm not hitting with this fighter because I want to move it back to Moscow and prepare for I guess I don't. I guess it's fine to send 3. I'd ideally like to evac the fighters this turn, but I can't do that without giving him Moscow odds, so I have to decide how many fighters I need to leave to give him unattractive odds in Moscow. And answer that question isn't easy. I need at least 10 fighters there to give him a 45% chance. The issue is I just don't know. Kind of feel everything's awful. I think what's going to have to happen is if I do a 1-2 punch on Berlin, I'm probably going to have to attack with the USA first. Because otherwise I just won't be able to get the value of all these fighters. So that's the plan. Oh, I so desperately wish I could hit Caucasus. I have so many planes, but, you know, 30 or so units in Caucasus is not going to work out so well against, you know, 5 infantry and 10 or 12 planes, unfortunately. So we'll be skipping that. Oh yes, I have 1 extra fighter here. I guess I'll take 1 off West Russia and plop another 1 down there for a little bit of equality. It's not super important that I capture that territory because it, you know, the income is just going to get fed right back to the Japanese when they take it the turn after this. But this territory is important to prevent him from blitzing up and smashing Karelia. The reason I'm taking this with the UK is because I want all the US troops to be focused into the Baltic states, so I don't have to, you know, so they can hit Berlin the turn after. So I'm trying to focus all of my attention, for the most part, into creating the most powerful attack I can on Berlin in 2 turns. I think the odds are pretty crushingly bad for me. I don't think it's going to work, but this is my best chance. I'm behind, really, really behind, and you know, you just gotta take what you can get sometimes. Can our bombing raid luck continue? It can. Ooh, double fives, very nice. Well, we've been getting great strategic bombing luck these last few turns. I don't know that it's going to make a difference, but certainly doesn't hurt. Unfortunate. Okay, we're gonna land these blokes here. Move those folks to Corellia. Gonna try. How far can we get these bombers out of danger, huh? Not really that far. I'm gonna move a handful of guys over to Egypt because I am, well, afraid that he's going to go after Africa with some tanks and such, and I would ideally like to plug that up if possible. Should be pretty safe in India. He has 4 planes, 5 ground units that can hit, but he's not going to send that to India. India's not a super impactful part of the game right now. I'm still going to try to hold it off, you know, and not give it to him in case it's a Berlin versus Moscow Falls sort of game. But looking at just how much he has more infantry, more artillery, more tanks. He just has more everything than the US has. And that's not a great sign for coming all in. But it's our only chance, so it's not like I have many options here. Get all those fighters there. And in 2 turns, it's go time. Oh, I do so love bombing. He has to spend like half of his IPCs repairing. Not quite half, but almost. Oh, that's so many transporters with only two land units to get anything done. Get those artillery up and up. Yeah, the game says, oh look, allies are ahead. The allies are absolutely not ahead. It can be kind of a poison sometimes to look at the attack power graph, because the moment they take over Moscow, those numbers are going to change very quickly. Alright, that's it for now, and I'll catch you guys next time for USA 12. Welcome back, it's USA 12, and let's take a look at what Terrance did. Bought a bunch of bombers in Manchuria to further reinforce his 100% odds of capture on Moscow. Took his turn, killed 5 units, no hitbacks, perfect turn for him. So, Yeah, we're just gonna keep doing the all-in Berlin plan. We don't really have a lot of options this turn. We're just gonna have to keep going at it and hope we get lucky. So, let's get to it. We're just gonna buy less land units than we need for a full transport, because remember, we're going to be taking a bunch of units from the Med, not the Med, probably Karelia or Finland or whatever the heck suits my fancy, and we're gonna pump them into Germany for a really low probability chance of taking them out. Really, 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 really low probability. But we're gonna do it because we don't really have much of a choice otherwise, so there you go. Okay, well, let's get to it. Guess I'll disengage that sub there. Not that that's gonna do much, but hey, we do what we can. I'm only going to bomb him with 1 because 2 would most likely be overkill. We'll send 1 bloke here to deny some income. I think that's about all she wrote. Man, it feels kind of... You ever feel like your luck's wasted? Like, oh, I'm getting good luck here, but you know, it's not really... With the bombing raids, but it's not really affecting the result of the game. It's like, I kind of wanted that luck, you know, a few turns earlier, you know? But I guess that's not quite how luck works, is it? So, one of the things I was considering here is, do I leave my units here? I think I do. Because one thing that I'm always a little afraid of is somehow I don't capture West Russia and then Japan blitzes their tanks through and kills a bunch of US units before they get their day in the sun. That's something I'm a little afraid of. But not much to be done about it. I think there's really no chance for him to do that, because even if I fail to take this with Russia, I should be able to then take it with the UK, because I'm going to attack with the USA first, then the UK, so I can bring these 10 fighters into play. But that was the idea, at least. Guess I can move this AA gun over there, or whatever it's worth. Well, maybe I'll just keep it. You know, let's take these infantry here and just send them back. Now, it's going to be an inefficient load anyway, taking an anti-aircraft with me, so I might as well send the boys over a turn early rather than do a bad load. Gonna put the artillery here. Yeah, I'm gonna put the artillery here. It's gonna be a little inefficient with the transports, but it's actually no. I'm not gonna put a bomber there. That would just have Germany raid that. Yeah, it's gonna take 2 transports, an extra transport to unload everything here, but that's the least of our concerns. I want to maximize the amount of power rather than have a little logistical efficiency. Maybe I probably should have put the bomber there, but I don't know. Not sure it matters much. I think I'm just gonna get flubbed in the face. Yeah, even after my turn, you can see we have like even artillery and infantry, but he has more tanks, planes. He's gonna get an extra influx on his turn and from Japan. It's just not looking good, but it's the only choice we got, so here we are. Okay, the good old Russian turn. Gonna spend every penny I got because I simply don't want the Japanese to get it. Alright, I'm going to be abandoning Moscow. And I don't want to move them here because he can crush it. I'd rather just keep the Russian units around and just try to be as annoying as possible. Actually, let's make it 3 infantry to West Russia. My artillery are precious for counterattacks to make sure he doesn't take Moscow or Russia too lightly. And I'm taking these territories in order to deny him some income or force him to send units this way rather than at Berlin. So that's my tactic. Got it. Look at that, a perfect Russian turn. What does it count for? Not a whole lot, honestly, but it probably counts for something. I guess I'll put them here. Lets me reinforce India if I want. It lets me suicide them into Berlin if that's my chosen goal. You know, maybe it's better to land them here. Well, if I block here with the UK, does it accomplish anything? I think the answer is no, it doesn't accomplish anything. So I think my best path forward here is to just plop them down in Baltic states saying, hey, Germany, look, there's some juicy planes for you to hit. Why don't you trade them? Because him trading units into these fighters is softening them up for the Berlin attack. So maybe he'll say, oh, Russian fighters, what a fool, take it. And, you know, it's a desperate gamble that doesn't have a lot of hope for success, but I got to take every micro advantage I can. Can I even send them anywhere else? No, I think this is probably the best spot. Alright, well, that's my turn. In fact, I'll even put the guys there and say, maybe I should have bought a bomber. It probably would have made more sense, a bomber, to get more stuff done, but I'm gonna put as little as possible in Moscow because it's going to go bye-bye. And yeah. Alright, that's the turn. Oh, look, we're winning by 10 attack power. No, we're not. Not winning, at least. Alright, that's it for now, and catch you guys for UK 13. Welcome back, it's UK 13. Let's take a look at what Terrance did. He decided not to purchase infantry this turn, which is probably wise in some respect, in that he's not going to suffer any losses, you know, from bombing, because it effectively takes like minus 18 a turn from him. The downside of that is I can make a full force attack with the US, and he's going to have a little bit less units than he might otherwise have. So, something to think about. Anyway, I've ran the numbers, and a two-way attack where we use the US and the happy UK basically results in, drumroll please, a 13% chance to capture. Woohoo, guys. So, odds aren't looking great, but we'll do what we can. So I'm going to buy more infantry than I need, because I don't have anything else to spend the money on, really. I'm going to buy another bomber. Actually, no, let me redo the odds. It's at 18% chance. Woo-wee. So here, we'll just go after Burma because we can. I'll go here to try and make it so he can't blitz through and hit anything in Poland. I mean, I'm obviously not going to hit... Let's see if we can get him stuck with his pants down for a attack with a bombing raid. See if maybe we can get 2 AA guns. That would certainly be nice, if possible. Yeah, not a lot else to do other than hope we get really lucky. 2 hits would be ideal on Germany. It would be even more ideal if I could get the AA. 1 hit. No such luck. Well, it happens. But we basically have to make this work this turn because he's going to get tanks next turn. This is entertaining. How many rounds? Round 6. Alright. Look at that. An unqualified success. Let's move these blokes up. Let me make sure he can't shoot that down with his German crap. Looks like he can't. Where shall I put the rest of these fighters, huh? Always put them here. I guess guess this guy will maintain his location. Now that I killed the Burma guy, they can't start an invasion of Africa just yet. Send more guys to Africa. India's dead. It's just a matter of how he decides to slice me up. I think it should be fine there, right? Right. It would be fantastic if Japan decided to hit this instead of something else, but I'm not too hopeful in that. Really wish I got 2 hits there. That would have been nice. Would have been nice. Yeah, actually would have brought my odds to 21% if I got 2 hits there for a capture. Look at me drooling over a 21% Berlin capture. Oh wait, I didn't even add the tank. Sorry, let me recalculate that. It's a 0.6% capture. Great. Alright, that's it. Catch you guys next time for USA 13. Welcome back. It's USA 13, and let's take a look at what Terrance has done. Did a bunch of fighter buy, makes sense. He wants to defend Berlin. Burma, perfection. Varnava, perfection. Ukraine, perfection. Lost 1 in Russia, so pretty darn good turn for him. Alright, so this is the final climax of this game. Our odds of capturing with the US are, let's read it, 1% or 2.5% if I sacrifice my planes. And my odds of capturing with the UK the next turn are 72%. So we have a reasonable chance of success here. So let's do it. Gonna buy just some units for Norway. I'm gonna buy some bombers to swoop into the rescue for the cleanup act. Maybe I should buy fighters now that I think of it. Buy fighters to defend my navy. Alright, so disengage the sub. Oh, it's interesting. He held those guys there, huh? Well, makes sense. Maybe I don't want to sacrifice them. All but one of these blokes. I don't know why it asked me if I'd like to load UK troops, because I can't do it. Okay, 96 units. Nerve-wracking, huh? Nerve-wracking. This is for all the marbles in setting up the whole plan for this moment in time. Oh, actually, I calculated it wrong. Our odds of capture are 76%. Wow. Okay. Fingers crossed. Implausible. Can that be? We have more infantry, more artillery, less planes, less tanks. Of course, we're probably not going to win this, but hopefully the UK does a good enough job to mop this up. Ooh, that's good. God, was that a good... I think that was good? Well, his hits pretty good too. Ooh, that was nasty. Okay, so now I have to think. Do I want to continue? Do I want to continue? Because I think I got a pretty good result there. So let's see. How much money does he have? He has 51. He's going to repair 18, so he's going to end up with 30. 51 minus 18. That's 40, 30. Man, you think I'd be better at math. 22 plus 2, 23. Oh, 33. So he'll... 33. So he'll probably buy an AA and 9 infantry. So 1 infantry... Yeah, I'll pause the video so you guys don't see me here gibbering doing math. So I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, I'm back, guys. I ran the numbers, and if I just wait for him to build next turn, I have a 100% capture chance on Berlin. And if I decide to hit with the US, it's still going to be 100%, but it's going to knock my profit down from plus 113 to plus 35. So I am going to retreat to save my Air Force because I got an exceptionally good result there. You know, I lost more than him, but considering how many fewer units I came in with, I can't complain at all about that result. So let's count our blessings. Where do I want these fighters? I'm curious. Do I want some guys in Africa? Can the bombers reach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yes, they can. Okay, I'm a little worried about Japan. No, Japan's not going to have a chance to shoot down my navy. Can they shoot down this navy is the question. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, they can't shoot down any navy. Put all my blokes there. What do I want to do here? Probably don't want to be hitting them, do I? I could send my guys this way to just be a general nuisance, or I could try to stack, Corellia. Be interesting to just, like, send my guys westward. I don't know if that's the right choice. I'm never sure what to do with that giant Russian blob. But this is definitely safe, right? Well, is it though? Might want to have some guys here because next turn he's gonna have 6 Japanese fight. Can his bombs reach? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. His bombers can't reach, but I'd like to protect those units in any case. Yeah, not sure what I want to do with the Russians. If I want to use them as a big stack, or if I want to just try and go on an adventure. I don't get any of the money, but neither will he. Might be good to have a big stack here just to allow the allies to stabilize. I think that's reasonable. Doesn't super matter where I put that. Crazy game. I have a bit of a glut here of infantry. Might have to change that. Honestly, I think it was a huge mistake by him to not buy this turn. Even if he only bought a handful of units, it would have made my odds much worse. Even if he only bought like 5 infantry or something here, my odds would have been way, way worse than they were. But the die has been cast. What do I do with these guys? Do I suicide them into Berlin? I don't think that's the right answer. Maybe I'll just save them. Keep them. Well, let's see. Would he want to strafe this? Almost certainly not, right? That's 9 units. Yeah, I don't think he'd want to strafe that. I think that's all we're doing. Just trying to distract him, get him to send some units back. Maybe I'll send an extra guy that way, who knows. These guys here can take we'll take out Moscow with the Russians, even though they don't have their Berlin with the Russians. That's their plan. Oh man, what a throw would that be to take that with the Russians. Oh, that would be terrible and hilarious at the same time. All right. Let's go. All right, catch you guys next time for UK 14. Welcome back. It's UK 14. And it's not a huge surprise what Terrance did. He just bought as many units as he could and repaired. So let's get to it. This turn, I'm just going to buy all land units to add some extra guys into Italy. And we'll go from there. Let's hit... I'd like to hit Burma. And the reason I'd like to hit it is to reduce the number of guys... Well, maybe I shouldn't care about him sending guys to Africa. Maybe it's just a thing I should just let happen. I am going to send everything I can into this fight. I'm not going to be taking Southern Europe, because if he decides to counterattack, it makes a big difference even having one extra unit that can hit back against his giant tank stack. Of course, we're gonna bombard. Give ourselves the best odds possible. Is that everything? I think it is. Oh, it's so nice to see the numbers. 100% capture chance on the calculator. Those weren't particularly impressive hits. Those were pretty terrible. Those were really bad hits. Wow, those were bad too. I was supposed to have 11 infantry left over at the end. So, looks like I had 4 less than expected, which could make things a little dicey. I guess I'll leave a guy there to force him to do something with it. Let's move our guys with 2 movement here. Maybe I'll put the rest of them, well, I'll put the ones I can there. Let's see. I'll put the rest here, because if he lands his fleet here, I can go 1, 2, 3. Then I can land in any of these 4 places, and he can at most take 3. So that's reasonable. Where do I want the bombers? Maybe I'll put them here as well. I guess I can get rid of that map note. One, two, three. He can't even hit this fleet. So I don't need any defense there. Maybe I don't even give him the chance to attack this. No, I should force him to split up his fights. He's gonna want to hit here, and probably here or here. So I don't want to group up. I want to split his focus if possible. Maybe I should move the bombers down lower. You know, 1, 2, 3. You can, yeah, maybe I'll move the bombers here to give me more range to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to help defend India a little bit if that's what I want to do. Just want to double check he can't hit that. Even if he could, the odds wouldn't be good for him, right? Yeah, should be safe. Alright. Put the tank here to blitz. I really want an artillery there. I don't think I do. I want to focus most of my aggression on Europe for now, because if I stabilize Berlin, it's probably our game. Yeah, if we stabilize here, it should be our win. Alright, catch you guys next time for USA 14. Welcome back. It's USA 14. Let's take a look at what Terrance did. So he went after West Russia, Archangel, Vologda, Novo. We got 3 hitbacks, which is pretty good. Nothing too impactful though. At this point in the game, this is where broad strokes are going to decide the course of the game. So looking at the board, it looks like he decided not to sacrifice his tank horde into the UK units, which I think was the right decision in his position. And now, the way I like to play this, now this is kind of an experimental thing because I don't get in these sort of positions very often, so I'm never quite sure what the optimal way to play it is, just because I don't have a big enough sample size. But my instinct is I don't want the UK and US together unless I have to have them that way in order to defend a key location. So what I'm going to try to do here is have the US push through Africa to try to secure that income. The UK is going to try to hold Europe, and if I think Africa is secure, I'm going to go start sending, gonna try to slowly transition my ships over to the Pacific to get some damage done there. So with that in mind, I'm gonna buy a bomber and 10 land units. You know, I don't really need artillery that much at this point in the game. It's mostly an infantry thing. I am so sick of this. Having to disengage this little kissing game every turn. Little annoying, but anyway, not a lot to do here. I could go for strategic bombing raids, but I don't think that's what I need right now. I'd rather just build up my units and try to lock down Africa with the US. So no combat. Non-combat. Oh. Easy. Okay, let's... I do like it in this spot, though. Anyway. Let's bring... Well, he has no transports in range, so there's really no reason for me to be anywhere other than Egypt. So let's start the funnel. I'll send some guys down low. It's the same number of paces to get to one side or the other. We will move these guys forward. I'm still going to build that little trickle of units through, just to do whatever they can. Am I safe with the UK and Sea Zone 5? You can go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm safe. He He can't get me just yet. Okay, and I'm going to transition these guys towards the Pacific, because I don't think I'll need them just yet. I might want units for the Mediterranean at some point, but that's not now. Okay. I'll put some guys here with the bomber just in case he wants to suicide into Alaska. However unlikely that might be. Maybe I'll just buy a transport over here, because these guys, I'd like to keep them busy to get Africa filled up with patriotic US units as soon as possible. And I probably care about the artillery a little bit more on that side of things than I do over here. It. Just want to make sure his bombers can't snipe anything impactful. They can hit here. How many units do I have? 5, and he has 2 bombers. Okay. Actually, I guess I can move this A. I'll keep the AA there. I'm probably not going to need to defend this side for much longer. Zoom. Okay. Russia. So I'll just hit there. I'm not taking Ukraine, because the moment I take Ukraine, that means it's suddenly Japanese income, and that is not what we want. And I certainly don't want to be taking Poland for Russia, because they have no money. Okay. Keep trading. It's good to chip away with things with Russia if I can. Give their units some utility. They don't get money, but if they can deny the Japanese money, or take units, that's worth something. Shame I didn't capture the territory, but we're going to evac out of Karelia. I'm not going to even try to defend this territory because, again, he has a lot of planes, and I'd rather not give them a target if I can. Looks good there. Okay, lots of things to do for the UK. I think with the UK, I might like to pressure the Mediterranean. It's a lot of stuff. I'm digging it. Oh no, I don't want to I don't want to buy anything for India if I don't have to. I guess I can just keep up with the bomber buys. Let's see how many. fill up everything except for 4 slots, and that's close enough for me. Okay, so first things first, I actually don't have odds there. Okay. I was thinking like, oh, can I hit Persia with all of these fighters? The answer is no, because they're not in range, but yeah, there's no way I have odds. He has yeah, there's no way I have odds there. Is there? How many units does he have? About 34 units. I think I'm just gonna plop everything into Burma and call it a day. Don't want to blitz here because, again, there's no way for him to reclaim that territory once he takes it. Actually, even considering that, I think I'm just going to blitz this up. Because I don't really want units to be here. He can't blitz it with his tanks. So why give it to them? What I do want to do is take Karelia. Do I want to do bombing raids? Bombing raids are probably not a terrible idea at this point. Not a terrible idea. Probably not a particularly good one either. I don't know. I'm just kind of not super enthused about bombing raids when, well, I have no other targets. Let's see, these guys can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe Caucasus. I can do 1 bombing raid there. I don't want to do more. Get IPC damage on him in a complex I know he's going to use. But I don't want to put more than I can actually hold and defend. Yeah, because if I grab this and then I like, oh, let's land our guys in Karelia, that's not a terribly attractive proposition to me. Bombing raids are technically IPC positive. After all that luck we had against Germany, the Japanese let us know that that time is over. Okay, let's pull these blokes back. Actually, no, I'm not going to pull him back. Then he can just blitz into Egypt, which doesn't sound terribly attractive to me. Okay, let's put a handful of guys there, but I want most of the bulk of my force to be threatening. I want to threaten Karelia because I don't want him to go there. Which means I want to put these planes in a spot where they can hit Karelia if possible. Let's move this whole stack over here because that's not a trade I want to take. I'd rather him hit with all his planes and infantry. He still has overwhelming odds to take this, but at least if the units are here, you know, I'm more likely to take a bigger chunk of his units with me than if I sit in India and get schmacked. Actually, I'm a little curious. No. He has 5. I'm like, oh, what if I land all my planes there? Can I hold off? And I said no. He has 10 units he can swoop in there. Not a chance. So do I want to keep these handsome bombers hither? It's not the worst place in the world. He can hit this with 1, 2, 3. He can't really attack it. I got enough to defend. He can only hit it with 4 planes, and I have pretty healthy amount of units. Yeah, I got 2 planes, 3, 4, 5 infantry, 5 bombers. That shouldn't be an attack he wants to take. And these bombers can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hit Karelia if need be. And I think that's good enough for us. But I don't want him to be able to stack Karelia next turn, and hopefully we have enough forces to prevent that. I should get a bomber here. I should have put a US bomber there. That would have been a great spot for it. How far can one of these blokes go? Not far enough, huh? Maybe I don't even want 2 infantry there. Maybe I want them all here. Let's see, what's the most he can land here? He can put 27 units. That I should be able to smash that if that's what he tries to do. So I'll put a couple guys there to possibly trade back Ukraine if that's what I want, which it probably isn't. Alright. Looks good. Why is that guy there? Oh, he came from Italy. Kind of want to put the artillery here because it has a bit more range. Five land units there. The sloppy leftovers get to go to Italy. Yeah, he's gonna run rampant in Africa pretty soon, but I can't really stop him. That's gonna be the US's prerogative. Alright, so we look at the board. Yeah, we're pretty far ahead in attack power and income, as you can see. He's gonna gain a little bit of income. He's gonna go a little bit higher, but usually this is almost always a sure win. In order for Japan to have like a good chance, they need to have Africa and like the Norway areas to defeat the Allies in terms of income, because otherwise it's just really hard. You know, Japan just doesn't have the money to fight, you know, in Europe, in Africa, and potentially even the Pacific once we get our guys over there. We just have too much of an income lead. We're about 100 IPCs a turn, and they're going to be in the 60s. I mean, I guess they're going to gain this, maybe the 70s, but still, it's going to be a huge gap, and hopefully we'll be able to slowly and methodically choke him out if we play correctly. So that's it for now, and I'll catch you guys next time for USA 15. Welcome back, it's USA 15. Let's take a look what Terrance has done. So he's just buying mountainfuls of infantry. Took India as expected. Took Karelia for free. Wiped us out in Burma. We took a couple chunk of units, but you know, obviously super IPC positive for him. So yeah, now we get to this board, and you can see Japan starting to get a little rich. So let's start with the buy. It's going to be a fighter. I'm going to buy bunch of land units. I'm going to buy the rare tank because I'd like a little bit of extra flexibility in Africa to have at least one of them. So let's kick things into gear. I disengage wars here. Alright, we really don't have that much combat to look forward to here. What I'm trying to do... How many moves does that take? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'd have to land there 6. No, I'd rather keep all my planes here concentrated, ready to shoot him down if he wants to start landing with transports. So, yeah, I think that's about it. I'd like to stack Karelia. Ideally, I'd like it to belong to... You know what, maybe I will send one bomber just... Whoops. Just to make sure it lands in the US, because I want to stack it. But I don't... I really, really don't want it to go to the Russians. So... Yeah... Hop to it. Nice. Look at that. Combat perfection here. So, let's... Huh. Wonder why I left that aircraft carrier there. Doesn't seem like that was a good idea. Bombers aren't in reach, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, they're not. Okay, let's move our entire fleet here. He only has one transport in range, so we are safe-ish there. Just move here to be annoying. Let's move our big stack there. Continue moving our navy up. Let's move these guys here to guard these territories. The US, I mostly want them to be sacrificial lambs, as funny as that sounds. More so than I want them to be trading. Because I want them to be focusing in on Africa and less focused on Europe, because I'm not a fan of 2-1 attacks. They're just very inefficient, costly, and I like to avoid them whenever I can. So the US is just going to be a token force, and it's mostly going to be the UK here playing fisticuffs with the Japanese. Alright, this is going to be 9 units, 10, 11, 12, perfect for the number of units I have, and I think we're good for now, and next turn I'll be able to plop down some, maybe I don't want to put more units there. Next turn, I plan to buy 2 transports and start my naval domination of the Pacific to hopefully pull the Japanese in another direction to further dilute their focus and ability to defend 3 fronts. fighter there because I plan to add it to the aircraft carrier. Alright, feels kind of weird to have 3 turns in a row. Okay, well let's just continue our objective of being annoying. I almost wish I could capture that so I could use this bomber to sink that transport. But alas, it was not to be. I don't want to be capturing things with the Russians. I only want to be kind of annoying. I don't want to take territory with them per se. 1, 2, 3 dead. Not what we want. Alright, let's move everyone up to Karelia and start being able to trade more territories with the Allies. Oh yes, you have no units. Oh, I'm so glad he didn't like save 1 German fighter here to like break up the turns just so he can move it every turn. What a nightmare that would be. I would like to continue building some level of Air Force. Bombing raids are efficient, technically. This guy's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I only want 1 guy here because I don't really want to capture it. How far can you reach? You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Land there for 6. Not a super fan of that. Don't know if I should be trading my Navy, my Air Force and bombing raids, but over time it will be efficient. If I have no other targets for them, and this is definitely enough to one-round them, it's probably a good move. Over time. Seriously, Caucasus? You've shot down 2 bombers in a row? Jeez. I've lost 36 bombers for 9, 36 IPCs of bombers for 9 damage. That has certainly not been productive. Well, what can you do, right? Can his planes reach? Oh, I want to pull this bloke back. How far can his planes reach? Is the bombers go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Yeah. I guess I'll leave 1 speed bump guy there. 3 units to possibly trade Ukraine. Man, God, those bombing raids have really hurt me. Minus 36 for 9 IPCs is not my idea of good trading. Maybe it's revenge for how lucky I got against Germany earlier. But all I have to say is drat, and I'm glad I'm buying more bombers. Well, maybe it is better to buy it here, because I plan... I guess it doesn't really matter, honestly, where I put them, whether it, well... Because I can pick up from Berlin, too. I sometimes forget that. I'm like, you know, you can just pick them up from Berlin, right? Blacktide, it's no difference from the UK. And I'm like, oh yeah, you can, can't you? I'm just not fully used to these situations. I don't play them very often. I don't get in these situations, the capital trades, so it's a little unfamiliar, the optimal way to play it. It's kind of nice to see such a rich UK. For some reason, I'm like, I feel like I should have more than 53. I own all of Europe, but he's got, you know, this big slew of units and IPC away from me, so it makes sense that I'm not as rich as I might otherwise like, but allies are making 100 IPCs a turn. Japan's currently at 73. They're going to grow a little bit. They're going to get 2 there. They're going to get here. They're probably going to spread into Africa for a couple turns before the US really starts to clamp down. But I got 12 planes here. If you want to move your navy in range, I will sink that fleet faster than they can spin their head around. So, interesting game. Of course, we're ahead after taking 3 turns in a row and attack power, but we'll keep grinding him out and see if this is the best way to play this. I hear a lot of people say in these sort of situations you're supposed to gum up the med, which I certainly could do. It'd make taking and holding Egypt a lot easier, but I'm going to try to pressure him over in the Atlantic, or the Pacific this time as well, to see if I can further divide his attention. Well, we'll see how it works. Catch you guys next time for, again, USA 16. It's going to be USA starting out from here on out. Hello and welcome back. It's USA 16. Let's take a look what Terrance did. He happily repaired the 9 damage on his complex after shooting down 3 bombers, so it looks like he's starting to build up a little bit of an air force. Took the freebie Yakut, took Bello, took Egypt, Ukraine. Nothing too out of the ordinary here. So now I'm going to buy 2 transports here for Western US, now that the fleet's finally starting to get in position. 1 fighter to put on the aircraft carrier, so we have 2. And 7 infantry, because that's all I can afford, and I don't want to say I'm broke, but I'm wish I could be richer. Don't we all? So, for my turn, I am sitting here thinking, wow, these USA units are just not that useful. So what I want to do is I want to exchange these USA units and build up the UK, because the USA is never going to build up to anything, how do you say, worthwhile here in Europe. I'm going to build 2 a turn here. I'll trade with the Japanese, and, you know, let them take the losses while UK gets enough muscle to give the Japs a black eye. I don't really have anything to do with these fighters. I'm probably going to land them here in Italian East, because it's IPC neutral if he wants to hit this. And I'm okay with IPC neutral. I still have the income advantage. I'm, you know, going up 94 a turn. He's 73. So any trades we can get that are even is a plus in my book. And this bomber I'm purposely not attacking with because I'd like to get him over here positioned in Canada, ideally, where I can have the opportunity to just kind of zone out his navy, or at least make it more annoying, force him to defend these areas and such. I really want to pull him apart in as many directions as possible. Hit back. Damn, 100% hit backs. That wasn't according to the script. Okay, we're gonna land all our blokes there. I'm gonna move this guy here in Poland just to soak up some shots. I'm gonna pull these guys back, and I should have enough UK units to where if I just put everything in Baltic, if he wants to stack one of these areas, I should be able to deter him. So here, I'll just move that guy out. I'm only going to put one infantry there because I don't want him blitzing down. This guy is going to be moving here. The nice thing about the bombers in Karelia is I can hit Sea Zone 34 if he decides that he wants to contest me there and let me detonate his entire fleet, which would sure be swell, but a player of Terrance's caliber is not super likely to do that. A girl can dream, though. I'm going to be putting everything here in French West Africa. You have to be careful when you're doing these sort of transport drops to not split your units 50-50. You don't want like half here, making him being able to dead zone. I want just enough units here to trade Libya and Algeria while being able to build up a stack here in southern Africa, or Anglo-Egypt, Sudan, to eventually stack Egypt and then start marching towards India to hopefully put in a killing blow, India and Caucasus. Or that's the idea of what I'm going for, at least. I guess I'll move some units here because it doesn't really matter too much whether I put them here or here. I don't have to start buying my units in advance anymore because, you know, I can just move the 12 to Sea Zone 11, or 12. 7 transports to Sea Zone 11. Though it is a little annoying in some aspect that I kind of have a bad rotation. I can only build 12 units a turn here, and I have 14 swinging every turn, so that's something I will have to watch out for, but not this turn. I'll just have to buy an extra 2 units here every turn, more than I need. Which I've been known to forget. Oh, I totally forgot I had that spot. I think I'm not going to put any more units in Norway for now, since I have Karelia. I can just trade there. I'm more concerned about getting units to Africa than getting them to Europe. UK has it covered. I can help them out a little, but I don't want to have like a 10 stack of infantry here that just aren't able to do anything. This getting close to being hittable with all my plans. Of course, he's going to shove more units there next turn, but good to keep an eye on it. Oh, I forgot to move the aircraft carrier. Darn. Okay, where do I want to move this bloke? I guess I'll move it there. Really nothing to hit with the Russians, so they're just gonna chill. Do I want to move these anywhere? Not particularly. Thank you for letting me know. I still need to exit the mobilization despite not having any ability whatsoever to use it. Okay, I'm just going to keep buying a bomber a turn. Is that the right move? Feels right. Okay, here's the UK. I don't really have a lot to do. Do I want to keep this bombing raid schedule going? I think I do. It's IPC positive. I have no other attacks. And while I don't like losing the bombers, it's not the end of the world either. Let's see, what are the odds of... I suppose hypothetically, if I get 4 5s, I can put more than I can deal damage. So I'm going to cut 1. I mean, that would be sure a high-class problem, but it reduces the efficiency of my bombing raids. Actually, let me see. What are the odds of me dealing 16 damage? It's 0.8%. 0.08% are the odds. Wait, no, that's 0 damage. It's actually a 17% chance that I deal full damage with that. So I think I'm going to not do that. Anything else you can attack? Not anything meaningful. Can I please get an IPC positive bombing raid on Japan? Seriously? That's the 3rd in a row? Oh, man. Can you give me a break? I'm gonna send him a Discord message right now. Well, this is not the IPC positive exchange that I was hoping for. Alright, let's move all these guys out and about. Oh, did I accidentally hit the aircraft carrier to move through there? There's no way he should have odds on Moscow, right? If he moves this and gets 0 losses, that's 20 units. I can move 20 units, build another 10. Yeah, there's no way he has odds there. What do I want to do with this cute little submarine here, huh? guess I can move him, inch him a little closer. I'm going to keep this guy here to say, hey, if you want Libya, you gotta exchange some units for it, bud. There's no free lunches here. Just making sure my navy actually is safe. Guess I'm okay not putting pressure on Ukraine with the UK. I think it strategically actually is better to put the bomber in Berlin because I have more attack targets, whereas the infantry in Berlin doesn't matter too much. I can just take the guys from United Kingdom and pump them out. So that's, at least that's what I'm thinking. Alright, still 47. Man, I feel like I should be richer as UK when I have Berlin and most of Europe. I mean, we're still increasing our lead with just the sheer amount of income. We're probably starting to reach equilibrium here with Japan. He may take income here. He's gonna probably trade. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. He's maybe going to go up 11 IPCs. Maybe he's going to cap out at around 79. But after that, we should be able to choke him out here in Africa. He's not sending... Well, he has quite a bit in India, but we should be able to stall his process there. We're getting a pretty frightening stack built up in Karelia. We've already got, almost 40 land units here built up, so he's gonna have to start taking West Russia defense seriously in the near future. And once the US starts parading around the Pacific, that's gonna divide his attention even more. So I think we're on the right track here, despite my little flub up with the aircraft carrier and my less than stellar bombing raids. I think we're in a good spot. Alright, see you guys next time for USA 17. Welcome back, it's USA 17. Let's take a look what Terrance did. Hit Anglo-Egypt, Archangel, well, yeah, pretty good dice. He killed 5 units and got 1 hit back. Bought some planes, looks like he's starting to posture to defend the Pacific, so that's nice. We're starting to pull them apart a little bit. So for this round, I'm going to buy 12 land units and 2 subs to help put more pressure on the Navy. I was considering whether I should suicide sack for the Hawaiian Islands, but when I think about it, I'm like, well, I don't know. That's 2 transports. Then there's also the cost of... Yeah, I guess he'll have to suicide a sub into it. So I was thinking, that might be worth it. Since he doesn't have any planes he can get there to reach, so I think I'll go with that. And I'm probably going to send one of these transports over this way too, since I kind of can't support my current consumption levels with the infantry. I also had the option to hit this here. It's a 98% clear, but it will be kind of expensive. And it's technically a profit, so I was wiffle-waffling on whether it was worth it. But I figure, you know, next turn, all these blokes are coming up here, and it's going to be a whole lot easier to clear the way then than it is this current turn. So I think I will wait another turn to try and mop up Egypt. Funny enough, he can hit there. I think I am going to place this bloke in Alaska just to add more pressure onto his navy. Whoa, talk about overkill there, huh? Okay, we need to kill 5 units and lose 1 to match his pace. Well, we've already failed. Alright, so next turn we'll do that. We're going to pick up this Solomon Islands bloke, drop him off, put these guys here, help reinforce Africa. Gonna take 1 more guy over to the Pacific Theater. These guys safe from 2 tanks. I'm going to move all these guys here. I am not going to move this Belgian Congo guy because I don't want him to blitz through it. I'll move the carrier here. I wonder if that's worth it. So if I move him here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 turns. Or if I move it here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's the same either way. Kind of funny how that works out. I'll leave this bloke here because I don't care about him. Where was the place we got the hit back? He didn't hit Bulgaria, Romania. Interesting. Do I need to defend this with infantry? I guess I don't really need to. I guess these guys can go here because they're just on Africa duty. Maybe I'll leave the extra inf here since this will be harder to retake. I'd like him to invest more over here out of the way. Do I want to keep these blokes here? I think I do, because they can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can't really hit anywhere else, can they? But no matter what he puts here, I'm going to have odds with, 8 fighters. So it's not super material. I got 20 land units. Well, not 20 units total, and he's got 15. I guess he could add some fighters. I kind of like them here, the bombers here, to help trade out against Japan and let the UK just keep building their doom stack a little bit more efficiently. It's also a little tempting to go for Moscow, but that won't really accomplish anything other than deny him production. I'm like, oh yeah, sack all the planes, take out Moscow. But the question after that is, then what? Then, I lose these terror. Then he just takes Moscow and gets a bonus 8 IPCs. I don't really have enough to knock him out here. Maybe if I move the whole stack to Archangel, that could be something. That's worth considering. What if I just move the whole stack over to Archangel? Oh no, but he has odds. He has odds on me there, does he? I don't know. Yeah, he's got like 50, almost like 60 units. I don't know, it looks a little dicey to me. Maybe I'll, let's see, if I put the blokes here in Moscow or Berlin, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, same range. And I don't want to put them in Italy because that would put them in range of his bombers. Like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Huh. Not really sure what to do with these bombers. I guess I'll just keep them steady here. I can take him out probably at this spot if he sits there. If he goes somewhere else, then he can't stack his fighters, and I'll hopefully be able to corner him. And I'm moving these guys here because there's no real reason not to. I guess I can... Is there a reason to put the infantry here? I think I'll just keep them where they are at the moment. Give me a little bit more flexibility in terms of where I want to go in the future. Maybe I'll just move them down, because if I move this transport to here next turn, that will give me more mobility to go to Hawaii if I so choose it. I wonder if it's better to put these guys here to have a little bit more attack range, because I was thinking I won't really be able to hit Rhodesia if he does that. Maybe I'll put 2 of them here because I'd like to get a 3rd aircraft carrier, and I'd prefer not to have to buy the planes again, so they can go 1, 2, 3 and land there and then go to the aircraft carrier the following turn. I think that's a good compromise. Do I want to place more here? I don't think it's that important that I have too many units trading there. I think taking over Africa is more important at the moment. He's got a pretty big second wave coming in. Okay, Russia. Any magic with the Russians? Not that I can see. I have to be careful I don't like flat out skip over a turn. Okay, let's keep our bomber a day, keeps the Japanese away strategy. I have to keep an eye on my navy too, because now he's got 4, 5, 6, 7 planes, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's starting to get a little narrow, my navy defense. But if he wants to take out my navy, so be it. I can just build in, you know, Europe, and it's not a super big deal. Not a super big deal. Okay. Shall I continue my happy-wappy bombing raids? I obviously haven't learned my lesson yet. Caucasus, 4th time's the charm. Oh yes, we of course want Egypt. Wouldn't say no to that. It's very nice that he's not feeding units in here with transports. How hilarious would it be if that didn't one round and then I failed to capture it, then I lost Berlin because he slammed troops in. Ah! Turns out the number of bombers it takes to get one hit on Caucasus is 4. Son of a... These bombing raids have just been a donation. They've just been a donation. Jeez. This is 27. Jeez. Wow. Where are all the... Okay, is there a transport here? Or did they all move back? Let's see. Because I would ideally want this transport here. Wait, can this bomber hit 1, 2? Oh, it certainly can. Can it go here safely? What did he buy last turn? 15 infantry, 2 fighters, mobilization. Okay. That was an expensive 9 IPCs. That's... Bombing raids are kind of like anti-aircraft guns. They're either amazing or they're horrible. There's no such thing as average. Would it have been worth it to blitz tanks to Vologda? I don't think so. That's trading... Yeah, trading tanks for infantry. For maybe 2 IPC. Yeah, I don't like that very much. But it is nice to keep the pressure up here. And then at some point I can maybe move to Archangel and force him to say, hey, do you want Moscow or do you want West Russia? And then I can stack West Russia. And once I do that, I'll be able to say, hey, you have to pick Caucasus or Moscow. Pick one. And then good things happen. Good things happen. Suppose he could do the same with me if he moves up too far. But we have a lot of units here. Did I not unload? So I just gave him a free transport and 2 infantry. That's great. man, sometimes the little spaghetti hither and dither of the game is just frustrating. Just difficult to see. Well, wouldn't be the first time I've donated something, huh? Thank goodness we have such a big income lead with all these bombers I'm burning transports and infantry. Alright, see you guys next time for USA 18. Welcome back. It's USA 18. Let's take a look at what Terrance did. He repaired the cheapest 9 IPCs on those bombing raids, coated with the blood of those poor Allied soldiers. Or sorry, Allied bombers. And looks like he's investing a lot into the Navy. Only bought 9 infantry. Wonder why he did a full repair if he didn't do a full mobilization. I guess he's just kind of on autopilot. 7 to Russia, 2 to 4 to conk. Anyway, yeah, this turn I'm going to buy 9 infantry, an aircraft carrier, and a fighter. Just going to keep building up that Navy. Doesn't even have to do anything. As long as I'm forcing him to split his attention, it's good enough for me. Alright, so first things first, we want to take Africa. And it looks like he's sending all of his guys up into the European theater, which is going to give us a little bit of a squeeze as the UK, but I think we should be alright. I'm glad I preserved all these Russian units. I should be good for this next turn, but the turn after that is a little... I'm gonna probably have to start running some numbers to see if we're still safe. Just like this is, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units against 7 planes. He probably has odds on our fleet now, but I just don't really care about my fleet that much. So I'm perfectly fine with trading Navy for planes when my land force is set up here. I could go after this. I probably have... let's run the numbers real quick just to see what that looks like. Yeah, it's a slight IPC positive. Maybe I should do that. I don't know. Should I hit these guys? It's a slight IPC positive, but I really don't super want to be trading here that much. I'd rather save these fighters for somewhere else, and it's kind of a high variability fight, but it is supposed to be +4 IPCs. It's dicey. I'm gonna get Egypt next turn anyway, right? He's projected... I'm supposed... Yeah. What if I did it as just one round attack? I'm projected to lose 4 units. He's projected to lose 6. But if he gets lucky and hits a plane, it kind of goes down the crapper. I don't feel like doing that attack. I don't think I need to take that sort of risk at this point in time. I'm just going to keep it slow and steady. Heaven knows, with my bombing raid luck, I haven't been anything but steady lately. All right. Well, that's the penalty for not having enough planes to one round him. He got a hit back. Really, the sub won't hit back, too. You know, I'm so glad I have an enormous income advantage, because I've been trading at a massive deficit against him lately. Like, my trades have been ultra inefficient. Ultra inefficient here. And let's move these guys back in case he wants to shove in over there. I like this guy here. Definitely want the artillery to be over in the Egypt theater. I think I'll send these blokes back just to help. I'm going to load up this transport here and sneakily send him down towards New Zealand, because I want to kind of pull him apart to say, hey, you're welcome, absolutely welcome to camp there, but if you do, I'm gonna snag New Zealand from you. I guess I can move these planes here to have a little bit more utility in what they can hit. We'll move these blokes back. This guy will go here. Might as well move these land units there, because I can't really do too much with them in the western US. I don't want to boom my whole fleet forward, because if I do, well, maybe I can move most of my fleet forward. No, I really don't want to, though, because I guess I could, I want to be able to pressure him. If I move down here to defend this bloke in New Zealand, which he can't reach that, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, he can't. I'd like to just move my guys up to Iwo Jima and immediately threaten Japan. But that's my idea, at least. Actually, is it faster to just send this guy here? There, it takes 1, 2, this guy goes. Yeah, same route either way, as long as I don't forget him here, which is a very real possibility. And I just want to slowly take his income out. Looks like he wants to do some sort of all-in Berlin kill. So I have to be very careful of him moving his stack to Belorussia. If he does that, I have to abandon Karelia and move everything down to Baltic to keep him from taking Berlin. So we have to be very cautious of that. Because I think that's what his win condition is. He realizes that he's down, 20 plus IPCs every single turn. And as long as nothing's happening, we're just going to slowly win. So that would be my guess as to what he's trying to do. Or maybe do some big Karelia attack, but he shouldn't have odds there yet. Does he have odds? He shouldn't. We have like 55. We're gonna have 60 infantry, 20 artillery. It's getting a little close. I'm gonna run the odds after this turn, just to be sure. I think I'll start moving a couple infantry up here just to protect Alaska in case he decides to want to hit it. I'll have some units there that can contest him. Alright, looking good. You know, I don't know if I need to keep sending guys into Alaska. I think I'm going to go back to the old plan of putting most of the men in more guys into Europe, which is what it looks like he's really focusing on. So I don't need to pump as much into Africa now that he seems to be ignoring it. Russia. Good turn. I'm going to skip the bomber purchase this turn and just focus a little bit more on infantry because I'm starting to get a little scared of what he's doing here. It looks very much like an all-in sort of attack. Oh, it's so tempting to just blitz and take Berlin. Like, it's very tempting. So let me pause here and run some numbers just to make sure I can afford to have these planes not land in Karelia and still be safe. So I'll be back in a minute. All right, I ran the numbers and it's a 10% capture he has on Karelia, but it's negative 125 IPCs. So I don't think he will go for that. And we'll just get back to our proven strategy of losing massive amounts of money in bombing raids. I have no other target for the... son of a gun. No other target for these guys to hit, so mathematically it's supposed to be IPC positive. Certainly hasn't been how it's going, but... man, he's been getting great hitbacks. I am so glad that we are ahead. Yeah, minus 15, another series of terrible bombing raids. That'd be so pathetic if I forgot to block and he just blitzed in. I could totally see myself doing something like that, though. Okay, let's smuggle this guy a little bit closer to discourage errant transports. And keep this guy out of range in case he wants to go for the C-Zone 5 dive. A lot of people have told me they prefer Germany being owned by the US instead of the UK, but I prefer the UK because it lets me split my forces up more effectively. I kind of hate having a little UK here, a little US there. I don't like multinational stacks. If he gets even a single more plane, I'm gonna start maybe landing in Sea Zone 3 instead. So yeah, you can see we're sitting up here at 98 income. He's at 75 a turn, and his income's gonna start shrinking. We're gonna take Egypt next turn, then he's probably gonna stack Persia, but in order to do that, it's gonna, his income's gonna continue to shrink. He's gonna have to send units down here to deal with that, and eventually he won't be able to protect both of these and keep his money island safe. So we're on the right track strategy-wise. Dice rolling, we're pretty darn terrible. We lost. I think he got a hit back with every single place we tried to take, except for the sub. So luckily we have lots of money to make up for our lack of good dice. So alright, that's it for now. I'll catch you guys next time for USA 19. Alright, welcome back. It's USA 19. Let's take a look at what Terrance did. So, bought a bomber, 2 destroyers. Looks like he repaired the complexes. Took Archangel, Bulgaria, Romania. Looks like he tried to hit Poland. He's been hitting with the onesies, which is a little bit more cost-effective in some ways, but if you fail to get the territory, which is over 1 in 3 chance, it sucks because you don't get the income. So, all right, nothing too special here, except that he moved all of his blokes down to Ukraine, which signals to me that he is going to be going for that big Berlin timing attack that we kind of suspected. And the fact, did he buy tanks? No, he didn't. No, it's just looking high, starting to stink a little bit if that's what he's trying to do. So there's a couple ways we could combat this. We could try to go to Belorussia and say, hey, if you move to Poland, I'm gonna smack you up. We could also, we could also just go to Archangel and say, hey, I'm taking Russia, what you gonna do about it? Or we could just do the cowardly move and slink back to Baltic states. But before we do that, should probably run some numbers first to see what the best option is for us. Alright, and survey says the coward's way back into Baltic states is the best way because I am not as strong as I would like. Probably courtesy of burning all of those bombers. Anyway, for the US, just going to buy 9 infantry, aircraft carrier, a fighter. We're going to go super discount mode onto Africa from here on out, since it looks like he's not contesting it at all. And since he's pumping out 14 units a turn, I guess 12 units a turn, we got to start taking Berlin's safety into serious consideration. So let's hop to it. Alright, first, I noticed that he placed a bomber there. I'm absolutely going for that. So happy he decided not to take out this cute little destroyer. And looks like he decided to protect New Zealand with fighters, which is pretty clever. That was a good move by him. think I'm just gonna go for the less valuable territory here, Archangel, and leave the others to the UK, because I am wanting them to have more income at this point. I think that's all I got in my combat tank, right? Nice. Seriously? Man, I have, ever since I took over Berlin, my dice have just been rather, I don't know, how do you say, less than stellar? So let's see, I believe I can finally move out with my fleet here. His odds here should be pretty poor. See, I can move this bloke here without being in range of anything, right? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, and dead. So I think that should be good. Maybe I'll change my defense profile to default. I don't need carrier protection. We'll move our little miniature army here up. I think I'll move these fighters hither because I guess I'll just start moving these guys here to get me in better range of sending things to France if I need to. Starting to get a little bit afraid. Of him taking out Berlin, because this is a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. So next, let's run a quick calculation. What can he hit with here? 1, 2, 3. He can hit with 6 fighters. Don't forget those. A bomber, destroyer, 2 subs. Those odds are not good for me. Okay, I will keep these guys here. And hopefully next turn I can unload them in somewhere like Solomon Islands and pack a little bit more of a threat. Might have to protect France if I do want to go for it because of his bomber's position. All right. Looks good. Very happy about these US troops just chipping away at the Japanese while I mass up with the UK. I feel like that's the right thing to do. You can't hit this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And I just get a little paranoid that I make mistakes like I did with that transport earlier. Yeah, I'm not even able to fill these puppies up anymore, and I'm not really trying to either. Africa is looking pretty good. Okay, Russia. No combat for them this turn. Non-combat, I am moving everything in the kitchen sink back towards Berlin because that is my win condition. He can make 12 units a turn here, I can make 13. So as long as I can hold out long enough, plus, you know, that stuff there, assuming I have the income, as long as I can hold out there long enough, I should be able to further improve my position over time. Mobilization, no such thing. All right. More infantry, more I say. All right. First, I'm going to blitz. I'm actually a little tempted. Can I just blitz all the way over to here? He can't really stop me, can he? Can't stop me now. Guess he could send a plane over there, but could kill a plane. I think it's worth it. Nice. Precision rolling. It's a shame that the blood hemorrhaging bombing raids have had to stop. Alright, everything looks pretty good there. I think I'll keep the tank in reserve. I think it's okay to leave some units over there, right? Where's that last transport? I think I do want to leave some units here. Maybe not 6. Well, maybe 6 is fine. Maybe I will... How many there? Maybe I'll just drop 4. A little cautious about his potential all-in here on Berlin. I don't think he has any odds, but it's like over 100 units. That's a lot of stuff, you know? It's a lot of stoof. now that we've taken back Africa, his income should continue to shrink. And we got this guy that we're probably going to force him to send his planes out at me. Otherwise, I'll just blitz over there and have a grand old time. Should I put an infantry there? Just to... no, I don't think I will. I'll force him to send one infantry there and send it into the blender in order to take back that one IPC territory. It doesn't have that many planes. Maybe I should put one infantry there just to be annoying. Because he has to trade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places, and he... How many planes does he have? Well, he's a little short. Go. UK is starting to get some better income now that they're above 50. So I think you guys can start to see where the income, you know, now we're getting, I guess at the end of our turn we're getting over 103 and he's getting 75, and it's just going to keep going down from here. This is going to be gone next turn. I don't know if I can hold this against 18 tanks, but I can probably at least lightly take it. So we're starting to get more and more of an income advantage, even if we're trading pretty poorly in terms of dice. You just want to play it safe from this position, and that's what I'm going to do. He is... God, how many units is that? 70 infantry. And he's got like 120 units coming, but we can make 10 a turn here. We got a bunch of blokes here. We should be able to hold pretty safely, and he won't be able to keep up this sort of pressure while defending these other two fronts that the US is just starting to move in. Alright, that's it for now, and I'll catch you guys next time for another US start of turn. Welcome back. It's USA 20. Let's take a look at what Terrance did. So 12 tank buy. I don't think it's much of a mystery what he's trying to do. He's going to try to kill us in 2 turns, and that's that. So, for combat, took Poland, Bulgaria, killed a bomber with that tank, yippee, Archangel. Looks like that's about all he did. So, for the US, I'm going to buy 8 infantry to have a little bit more of a force here in France, or sorry, not France, Europe, and I'm gonna buy 8 infantry, a little bit more navy, and a fighter to help defend. So, looking here, is this actually safe here, moving all of this forward? Probably is. He can hit with 4 tanks, 4 fighters, a bomber against... It's actually not safe. Interestingly enough. It's a little unexpected. Well, let's just do the easy moves first. We'll hit West Russia. I'm going to go for the Solomon Islands here. I was considering whether I should take out New Zealand and sacrifice a aircraft carrier, but I don't know if it's worth an aircraft carrier and a transport to do that. I should be safe now. Glad I checked to see if I was safe there or not. Because I most assuredly am not. I don't think he's going to go there, though. I don't think he'd send those tanks down there, would he? Best not to find out. He's been pretty resolute in saving every single unit he can. I could also potentially go for Wake Island to threaten Japan, but then I wouldn't be able to bring in these guys, and I think rather than trying to threaten a kill on Japan, it's probably wiser to just threaten to take all of these money islands, because I just need to hold off at this point. I just need to hold them off, and I should get a win. Alright, I think that's good. Nice. Alright, let's move our family forward. I'm going to leave those happy little guys in Hawaii for a faster reinforce should I need it. I'm going to offer my newly spawned destroyer as a sacrificial lamb if he wants it. Since he's going into all-in territory, I'm going to play accordingly. And move everything I can up to give more support here. I'm gonna move these two blokes here. I'm just gonna have the two newly spawned guys go there. I need an AA. Probably good the time as any to put down an AA gun. He can't shoot this down, right? This bomber can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's dead then. Okay, then we can... Is this safe? 1, 2, 3. I guess it doesn't super matter where I go, does it? Well, I can put those guys there, and they can always decide that they want to go somewhere else next turn. I can send them to France, or I can let them continue their Africa march. We'll send 3 infantry here, not so much that if he takes it, it's a tragedy, but enough to where I can threaten some territories here if he decides to stay around. Let's check our defense profile. Default, that's good. What do I want to do with this handsome bomber? I kind of like its location right now. But it might be wise... Well, I think I'll keep it here just to deter him from putting transports or lone destroyers here. Not that I think he will. Well, who knows? Maybe I will send it over to France, and because he's trying for an all, and he bought a huge ton of tanks, which says I will mortgage my future for today. And I think it's good to take that threat as seriously as possible, even if it means just sacrificing bombers when he hits Berlin. Not the most efficient way to do things, but it might be the wisest. Because he knows that I'm going to start taking these islands, he can't stop me anymore, and the income war is going to be increasingly bad for him unless he can take out Berlin. Good. think it's good. I've said looks good before, and it was not indeed good. Alright. Since his attack's coming in 2 turns, I'm going to put 1 fighter there. So next turn he's gonna stack there, and then he's gonna go. And on the off chance the game continues longer than 2 turns, we have some more infantry to come and work their magic. Ah, all those aircraft carrier and fighters are so handsome. So handsome. Alright, well, I can tell you right now that I don't really have anything to be doing with you, Russia. You are just going to be a lovely meat shield in Berlin, and I am so glad I didn't keep them camped on Moscow and just let him slaughter them. Alright. These AA guns are actually coming quite in handy. Alright. Full infantry buy here. Not even going to buy an artillery because I just want to save. Well, actually, yeah, I just want to save Berlin. Okay, so we'll send some blokes there. Actually, let's think about this. I need 2 fighters there. This should be what we need. I think it's more important that I can even send an extra guy to Archangel because I don't really care what happens to it. Holding Bulgaria, Romania is more important to me. Curious now, actually, now that I look at it, if I blitz down into Caucasus, is that IPC positive for me? Well, I can't really get the planes out, can I? Yeah, the fighters would have to go. They do a 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess 3. Yeah, they don't really have any safe place to land unless I stacked Transjordan, which I probably should have with my fighters, but I've just been a little bit lazy. Oh, should be enough. He missed. Wow. When you don't get those 1 rounds when you should, I just, for some reason, my mind defaults to, oh, he's gonna get 2 hitbacks and I fail. Alright. Let's tuck these blokes away. Keeping the 2 fighters there. Oh, I probably should have attacked this as the UK to see if he has group submerge on Submerge with Fleet, but I didn't, so probably not impactful though. 92 units moving to Berlin. All right. A little scary, actually. You can see we're starting to run away with the game due to the income gap. We're getting 100 versus 74 now. So it's like every turn I have 10 extra infantry over him. He's right to try this all in. It's definitely the right choice by him. Yeah, exciting. I think I should be able to hold it, but we'll see. This will be an interesting climax to this game. Catch you guys next time for USA 21. Welcome back. It's USA 21. Let's take a look what Terrance did. So, it looks like he bought a bunch of fighters, bombers, some other things to increase his odds of success here. Hit Archangel, West Russia, Baltic, Romania, Poland, and that looks about it. And running the numbers, we got close to a 100% chance of holding here. So that is good. And I think I'm just going to buy another aircraft carrier, a bunch of infantry, and we'll have a good go of it. Okay, so first things first, I want to take out that fighter. 1, 2, 3, 4. See if I can take out some infantry from behind as well. Okay, with these blokes, let's grab here. Should be pretty safe here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he can't hit that, so that's good. Can you hit anything and make it to Moscow? Not really. Not really. Two hits with all of that. Thank goodness this is an important fight. Got the hit back, but we denied a fighter from entering the battle for the cost of an infantry. That's pretty Swell. Okay, so let's move the gang forward. I'm gonna take these blokes, we'll move them in, move that there, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I don't really want him to trade this, but if he does want to trade against it, I don't really mind. I can move this guy. Here as well. I don't mind if he wants to trade his only destroyer for a sub. Starting to take the island money from him. So I'm a little torn here. How much do I actually need to put here? So I am going to place infantry here and here with Russia. It's gonna leave me with 95 infantry, plus that's 100, that's 110, 113, plus 26 artillery. I'm gonna have 7 bombers, and smoosh it all together. His odds of capture are, drumroll please, 0%. Okay, I can live with giving him a 0% capture chance. I can cope. And just in case, we're going to have these, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put 2 artillery here to potentially recapture it the next turn if some weird tragic twist of fate happens. I wonder if I remove the bombers, what do my odds go? Still 0%. Okay, we'll keep it. Can't reach Alaska or Western US, that's good. Artillery here, infantry there, and then we'll put the pittance in Western US. Since he's not really fighting for Africa, I'm not going to keep flooding it with units. Got bigger fish to fry over here. Right. Non-combat, we'll move these here because my odds of holding are just insane. 70, 80, 90, 100, yeah, really, really good. And even if I fail, I can still recapture if you get some sort of Christmas miracle rolls. still doesn't have great odds on my fleet, but I'm still gonna smush all of my fighters over. He has 4 planes that can reach. 5, 6, 1, 2, let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he can't reach. Okay, that's good. Okay, United Kingdom. Going to buy a little bit of artillery here, just as recapture insurance. Anything I want to hit? Not particularly. A little pitiful, but sometimes that's how it goes. Alright, non-combat. Take those schmucks. Put them there, put them there. Take this happy little sub. Plop it into the massive, ravenous US boats. Split it up here, there, and dither, and 50 IPCs. So we got a total of 110 infantry. Yeah, infantry, 26. 16 fighters. Yeah, 0% capture rate. So that is good. Wow, the calculator is very, yeah. Calculator just says 100% result of them losing everything. So that is what we like to see. And if we look at the income, it's still kind of not that, well, he's going down little by little, but it's going to get a lot worse once we start taking the more valuable islands from him. And once I can plop down a complex here, or take back India, he's just going to fall apart. He's put all of his effort here into Europe, and, you know, our income advantage is just too big. I think it was the right move for him to take, but just sending a little bit of extra help from the US made it a pretty easy hold. So we'll wait, see if Terrance can get the top 0% result, and we'll go from there. Welcome back, it's USA 22. Let's take a look at what Terrance did. So, 3 destroyers, 3 subs, 10 infantry. It looks like he's doubling down on the Navy defense. So we might want to do this same. Cut our land buys here. And for his combat, he sunk that transport, and I actually was a little confused as to how he did it, because I didn't know this was a thing you could do. So what he told me is he suicided a submarine into 49, and that allowed him to send a fighter over to kill our transport here. So it was a little confusing to me. I didn't quite understand, but I guess maybe that's because they're saying, oh, this sub can kill this, therefore the aircraft carrier will be able to pick up this sub. So, yeah, he hit Bulgaria, got a good trade in Persia, West Russia, hit Karelia too, and where's that New Guinea? He air raided New Guinea to prevent me from taking the island, so that was smart, but also very expensive. He killed the transport and a handful of other units, but it really cost him a lot. Yeah, it was not a cheap transaction for him. lost a fighter there, lost a fighter there, lost a sub, and I'm gonna hit this. I was originally intending to just flat out stack C-Zone 45 because it is IPC negative for him to attack it, but it's like a 42% chance for him to clear. And I just don't want to give him anything, you know, remotely looking like a decisive battle when I have this sort of income lead. Yeah, he's down in the low 70s, so we're slowly grinding away at him. He's delayed the island captures here a turn or two, maybe 3, so maybe that was a good move, but we're going to keep on advancing in any case. Kind of hate buying a transport when I have this many, but alright. Well, first things first, I want to hit these locations. I can hit this? 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's assuming I clear here, huh? Now, I was a little kind of iffy on this spot. I'm like, how many subs should I send? And I think I'm gonna send another sub just to be safe. You know, I don't want to sacrifice a plane. I'd much rather sacrifice a submarine. Send those guys there. Try and retake Karelia, not let him build. I want to hit this location here, but more so than that, I want to move my planes into range of Transjordan to really put a heavy threat on Caucasus or India, depending on what he does. So I'll leave that to the UK to sort out. Actually, sometimes I like to just click on the bomber to see where they can hit. Okay. He did a really good job of positioning his bombers here so they can hit the C-Zone in the Philippines if I want to camp there. Really wanted to hit this with a battleship so I could soak up a return fire, but sometimes trying to be too efficient can actually be a flaw. Wait, what can this transport hit? Why is it giving me an option to move this transport? I don't have anything to pick up. Huh? Oh. Well, whatever. Yeah, this transport could also sneak on over here, can't it? Yeah, once we have India, then it becomes a little bit easier. All right. I didn't one round him. That was kind of pathetic, 7 planes. Good to note that he has carriers set to die last. Let me put a note there. Good to note for when I'm doing naval battles. Sometimes things like that make a big difference. Nice. Finally have a very lucrative IPC positive turn here. Yeah, the end screen's going to show some very big red numbers for Japan. Yeah, minus 66 to 12. That's almost a full turn's worth of units that he lost. Alright, so let's evac these boys over there. Put the bombers out. Put these guys here. I guess I'll let the Russians sacrifice their units instead of the US, because you know, they don't really have a big reason to get anything done. Okay, let's move some transports over here, because I think we're going to be holding on to this territory. Move these blokes back. Guess I can move one going this way. Where do I want these? I have more transports than I can fill. I'm going to move this guy back here so I can start taking Australia. I mean, I guess I can just put these guys here for now. I'll leave this aircraft carrier here to land the fighters on. Does that make sense to land the fighters on the aircraft carrier? Maybe. He can't hit it with anything, right? No, nothing's in range. He took all his fighters off there. That was a really juicy attack. Oh, yeah, I should keep that defend Persia mark because I need UK fighters there. Yeah, I decided to move these infantry here because he could go for Alaska, and I'd rather he didn't. So if he goes for Alaska, we have the fighters here that can retake it, and the infantry to do so. Okay, this will be able to pick up newly spawned guys. I don't think I want to place any in Western US because this guy can... Well, maybe I do. He can always pick up the guys located here. But if I can't do that if I want to, say, stack Wake Island for some unknown reason. Okay, this should be safe because his bombers can't reach. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, two of his fighters can reach, but we're good there. Might want to buy another tank as the UK just to have more like range potential. I think I might do that this turn. It's good to have at least one tank to threaten farther away places. That was a very efficient turn for us. I'll put some blokes there just because. Oh, no, I did remember to move those guys there. Okay. I remembered. I didn't mess up. Okay. Sacrificial Russian unit. I guess I'll keep the Russian units here. I don't need to move them over to defend Persia. Oh, I still have that note for Germany's defense profile. Okay, let's do a tank. And I would like to start... probably shouldn't be too aggressive with planes. Okay. See if we can take this. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a little interesting. Okay, and I should be able to hold Berlin, or should be able to hold that pretty easily. Still no odds there, but we're on it. 2 fighters, 1 tank, good. Okay, just don't let the next guy hit back. Works 67% of the time, every time. Nice. Okay, good. So that was IPC positive for us there. Okay, we can land at least one bomber there. What do I want to do with this bloke? Can you hit here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. This territory should be safe, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that should be safe there. No reason to risk units I don't have to. And let's double check with the math just to make sure. I'm almost certain this is safe. But let's make that into definitely certain so you can hit with 1, 2, 3. Well, he can only hit with 4 bombers. He can't hit with any of his fighters, huh? And I'm going to have 80, 90, 100, 112, 104, yeah, super safe. Just good to make sure, though. We're going to put a couple extra infantry here to tease out being able to trade Ukraine. It is, let me tell you, it is nice to be able to start getting that juicy New Zealand income. Can you guys taste that? The kiwis? Absolutely delicious. Couldn't do without them. He can hit my fleet with even odds, but I don't really care so much about my fleet. It's not terribly impactful at this point in the game. Actually, it might be better to put this guy here. Can you reach? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Because this way I could also potentially hit Archangel, or if I wanted to, for who knows what reason. Maybe I'll put one of the artillery here. This way I only need 2 transports for it. Alright, let's take a look. Yeah, now we're 100 attack power ahead, and yeah, his income's getting lower and lower every turn. Ours is just inching up little by little. Now we're 101. I guess it's not super high, but yeah, we're gonna take Australia next turn. He can't contest that. We're gonna either take India or Caucasus. I guess we could probably even take both. I think he might just be cooked. You know, he has basically he has a 0% chance on Moscow, or sorry, Berlin. I'm so used to saying Moscow because I'm not used to holding it as the Allies. But yeah, I think we're pretty much home free at this point. So yeah. All right. Well, that's it for now. Catch you guys next time for another USA 24. Welcome back. It's USA 23. This is a long-ass game. And let's take a look what Terrance has done. He bought 6 infantry and a ton of navy. So he's starting to take the navy threat seriously here. So that's a good thing. For combat, killed the Ukraine tank, took Karelia, failed Poland. So, looking at the map here, we're going to be able to trade these 3 territories, which is nice for our US income. And we have some opportunities over here in the Pacific that I'll go over. So we have 2 attacks we can make here. We can hit C-Zone 60 or C-Zone 61. And we have a 60% chance for a full clear here and a 77% chance for a full clear here. And that's accounting for them, the subs surviving. So everything but the subs clear. And that's pretty attractive to me. It's a little risky to take some of these, but the IPC gain is huge. So, accounting for that, I'm going to buy 5 infantry and 3 fighters because we're going to lose a lot of fighters this turn, and I'd like to replace them. But I still want to make some infantry. Alright, so let's get into the action. I could also blitz this tank here. I think I'm going to go here for the higher % chance clear because, you know, oh, sorry, not here. My mistake. This one is the higher % chance clear. It's not as juicy of a target, but the odds of success are higher. And to me, the odds of winning being higher is more important to me than the winning itself. Can he hit this? He can go 1, 2, 3. He can. Okay, let's take our foot off the gas there for a minute. Can't hit this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. And the reason I'm only hitting this with 2 bombers is I don't really want to land my bombers in New Guinea. Because he can hit them with his aircraft. And I'd rather, if he's going to do that, not hit me with too many. You know, not make it too juicy of a target. So if he wants to suicide his, or not, might not even be a suicide if this goes bad. But I'd like to limit the potential for loss. I'm going to take that territory because I want to trade out US and Russian units here, not UK units. They need to be balling up for a big attack eventually. Alright, and I think that's all she wrote. I kind of want to do bombing raids or something here, but I've been a little burned. Favorable. Precision rolling, bringing enough in for exactly 1 hit. Okay, now this, while highly favorable, is a little scary. Like, it's a little scary. If I get that bottom 23%, this could really set us back. 5 hits, that's average. Oh, I forgot to account that he has carriers to die after fighters. Let me plug that into the calculator. That completely changes the odds. Yeah, that turns it to an 83%. What?! Oh, when you see your 7 planes miss. I should have taken a screenshot of that. Ah, that's beauty. That's a thing of beauty right there. Well, we got a bottom 30% roll, but still a win. Just a smaller win than I would like. Alright, so since we decided not to... Well, let's do all the hard moves first. Move those blokes back. I think I'm going to stack Poland instead of Baltic states, because I can trade 3 territories from here. He can't hold this. He's gonna have to probably stack in Belorussia. And that gives me a little bit more in terms of options. Alright, let's take those guys. Actually, let's take these blokes down here, because I'm really not going to be in the business of transporting things for much longer. Not going to be in that business much longer. Let's move the fighter down here. Now, do I want to move these guys here to be able to better defend? I kind of don't at some level, because I don't want these guys to be vulnerable for free. If he wants to hit this, he has to go 1, 2, 3, 4. He needs to try and put some of his Air Force at risk. I'm also a little concerned about him sending a sub towards my aircraft carriers. So maybe I'll send a destroyer back. And let me just double check with all my odds and stuff that I'm actually safe here from a counterattack, because I got pretty poor dice. That was pretty unsatisfactory. All 7 missing. All 7 missing. I should have screenshotted that. Okay, let's see. What do I have here? We got a sub, 3 destroyers, cruiser, 4 aircraft carriers, battleship, 2 fighters, and he can hit me with how many fighters? This can go 1, 2, 3. He can hit me with 4 fighters. Can his bomber hit? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It cannot. That's a lot of subs. 2 destroyers, aircraft carrier, battleship, cruiser. Ooh, that's not looking so great. Yeah, we definitely don't want to offer him that. What if I add 7 fighters? How does that look then? Yeah, what if we move them here? Can his bombers hit? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think his bombers can hit. What's my defense profile? I might need to turn carrier, destroyer last. Maybe I shouldn't worry about the aircraft carrier. If he wants to move his stuff over there, I can just build a destroyer and it'll be okay. Okay, so let's take a look at this now. Bomber, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just a little scared sometimes. He has 6 subs, 2 destroyers, battleship, 1 aircraft carrier. Okay, should be pretty safe. Yeah, 80% to hold. Glad his bomber isn't in Moscow, or it would be in range. Okay, is this guy safe? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, he can do his cute little suicide trick there if he wanted. I can't stop him. Do I want to keep the tank here? I think I do. He's going to keep a blocker here regardless. And the tank can blitz into territories he can't contest, possibly. I'll just leave it here. He's going to probably take this, so I won't be able to blitz. So weird to see a green-colored Caucasus. Do that cute little trick that he likes. I can't stop him from doing it. And it will cost him a fighter and a sub if he wants to do that. So that's 16 IPCs to kill a 7 IPC transport. And I have more coming. I'm okay with that. 18. I'm just so paranoid about this being safe. Should be safe. All right, let's send it. Oh yeah, also I have an extra submarine here from the UK, right? So that bumps my odds up to 88% to not die. And I have my defense profile set to destroyer last in case he tries some weird sub shenanigans where he keeps the submarines alive but sacrifices everything else. Pretty nice income for the US, 55. And for the Russians, don't really have much for them to do. Just have to make sure I'm not... Whoop, 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 whoop. I do want non-combat moves. Okay, now for the UK's turn. I need to start beefing up my production of artillery here. So let's do a nice build here. Okay, well, I don't know if I want to send my fresh, shiny new tank here. Do I want to bombing raid him? Have I learned my lesson? Have I learned my lesson? The answer is no. I have not learned my lesson. I'm a little tempted to hit here to see if he has submerge with fleet on. He doesn't. Might as well make this sub, give the sub a time to shine. These will fight, because I checked last battle and they didn't submerge, so he can't change his profile now. Son of a gun. I've lost a bomber every turn. Well, that wasn't great. What else is new, huh? That wasn't great. Thank goodness I have such a big economic lead over him. Heaven help me with these rolls I've been getting. Watching those 7 fighters miss gave me a heart attack. Just about gave me a heart attack. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Okay, he can't hit this guy yet. Okay. This is a big ass stack of units. Oh, I should have made a tank there. I should have built a tank here in 2020 hindsight. Because that would allow me to hit this with the US and then blitz, but it's okay. Can still put one bloke there. Maybe I should have put my fighters there too to pressure his navy. That looks a little funny. The sub makes it looks like there's a negative amount of units on the transport. See how it goes to the little minus there? Yeah, you can see now we're getting 111 IPCs a turn. He's down to 59. He can take 6, 10. He can take 10 of that back. So he can go back up to 69, but as you can see, the US and UK are just about IPC even with Japan, which is kind of, as I say, the beginning of the end. So looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how we've played this. Maybe not the results of these less than stellar bombing raids, but everything else I think has been played pretty well. It was interesting how he didn't try to contest Africa, which makes sense on some level. He can't be everywhere. He has to give something up, but eventually these guys have slow marched up into Asia, all the way from eastern US into Australia. Their feet have to be killing them. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll catch you guys next time for USA 25. Or, no, USA 24, rather. Alright, well, looks like Terrance decided to throw in the towel after that one. I think he kind of realized that the income gap is growing untenable, especially with India happening here, and he's gonna quickly lose control of all the money islands. So yeah, this was a wild long game that I thought I was way behind for probably the majority of the game. I think the thing that, funny enough, turned the game is when that one turn before we took Berlin, when he decided to save his IPCs instead of buying like 5 extra infantry. If he bought extra infantry, it would have dramatically reduced my odds on Berlin or forced me to sacrifice all my US planes. And if that was the case, we might be in for a completely different game. 105 infantry. I don't know if I've ever had that many infantry before with 1 power. But yeah, wild game. This is a game to think about, because I feel like early on, I don't feel there was really any significant bad luck, but I felt I just fell behind. Maybe there were a couple little minor things, but I don't know. I felt that early on I was at a disadvantage, and I don't think I can fully blame the dice on this one. So this is probably a really good game to study, especially the early turns. Yeah, so something to think on, but very well played by my opponent. And yeah, looks like we're going to advance to the next round of the tournament, and we're gonna play Quinton this time. And I have to say, I feel like I got like the worst seed in the tournament. I faced some platinum player at the beginning, and then I faced Snoopy, and then Terrance, and then Quinton. Like, every one of these players could be in the finals. You know, all world-class players. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for all the commenters and all the new subscribers. Your guys' engagement helps motivate me to keep doing this, and I'll see you guys next time.